Hi, everybody. I'm Nate Eaton with EastIdahoNews.com, chatting with Dillon Pope today on Zoom. He is in Montana, but for those of you in Sugar City, you might recognize him because he was an all-star athlete for several years. And Dillon, you've done something pretty impressive over the past, couple. Has it been months or even years now?
Just a couple months, just since March is when I started.
Since March. Okay, so take me back to why don't you just share your story with us? What gave you kind of the idea to go ahead and be a donor?
So my sister signed up a couple years ago through bethematch.org, and she sent me an invite to sign up last March. And so I've always liked enjoying helping people, and so I signed up and waited a couple months, and around October I got a call from Be the Match telling me that I was a match. So the next couple months I was getting a lot of blood work done, making sure that all of my testing was good. I wasn't going to have anything that would make my recipient sick or anything. And then I can't say the exact dates, but a couple months later, I was flown to the hospital that I donated, and they gave me injections for 5 days before that increases the stem cell count in my blood. And then the process was only about 8 hours long. The day of the donation, they just stuck a needle in my right arm that was taking blood out, and then stuck a needle in my left arm that was putting my blood back in, and they would just cycle it through a machine that was extracting my stem cells from the rest of my blood.
Okay, so when you talk about signing up for Be the Match, do they only match stem cells? Is that what they're looking for?
Yeah, so they match. It's for over 70 different diseases. So like sickle cell, lymphomas, cancers, and pretty much anything in your blood that can go wrong. That's what they're looking for, and that's what they can help with. So it's pretty easy. I set up a text line actually. You text Bulldogs to 61474, and it gives you a direct link to go sign up. And it takes about 8 minutes is all. And then after you sign up, they send you a cheek swab kit in the mail, and you just swab your cheek, send it back, and then you're in the registry.
Oh, wow. So that's it. So that's what you did. You signed up, they sent you a cheek swab, you swabbed your cheek, you sent it back.
Yep.
And what do you know about why your blood, your DNA was so special compared to others?
I'm not exactly sure how it all works. I just know it's not very likely. Like my sister's been signed up for a couple of years now, and she's never been um, a match with anybody. But I'm not really exactly sure how it works, but it's pretty complex. They
So when
broke
they
it down to me, but
Sure. So when they contact you, were they like, gold mine, like you're the type we want? Is that what they said? Like we really got to get you in here?
yeah. So they called me a couple times, but it came up as like a 467 number. So I was like, oh, it's a spam number or something. So I didn't answer. And then finally they texted me and were like, hey, this is Be the Match. You need to call us. So I called them, and they told me that I was a match for somebody that was in pretty desperate need of a transplant. And so it was just a couple, like not even 2 months later, is when I was donating, which I guess was pretty fast for how they usually do it.
And you mentioned, so you go in and you donated your stem cells. Is that what you were donating to this person?
Yep, it was my stem cells.
Your stem cells. And you say it was just one needle in one arm, one needle in the other, but 8 hours hooked up to machines, that's kind of a long time.
Yeah, it was pretty long, and it gets pretty sore, because you can feel, if you've ever had an IV before, you can feel it rushing back in your arm,
Mhm.
and that's how it felt. And so it was kind of hard because I couldn't stand up, couldn't move. I had to lay completely still just to make sure that nothing went wrong. But the nurses that I had at the hospital I went to were really great, and it really wasn't too bad of an experience.
And you were awake the whole time?
Yep. Well, I took a nap, but not because of any drugs they gave me, because I was tired.
Just because you were tired. Wow. Could
Yep.
you eat during the process or drink or?
Yeah, I could. I just had to have the nurses help me do it,
I see.
just because I didn't want to lift up my arms, pop the needles out.
What did you know about, and what can you say, if anything, about the recipient?
So all I know is that he had like a blood disease where his stem cells weren't producing like how they're supposed to. So they're known for like their bone marrow transplants, which that's when they go into your like lower back, and that's where they get your stem cells out of your bone marrow. And that's, I'm not sure like which or why they can differentiate from the two, but usually it's stem cell. About 80% of the time, they don't have to go do like a surgery, an outpatient or an inpatient. And so all I know is his stem cells weren't producing properly, and so they were going to give him my healthy stem cells. And one crazy thing actually is after they give him my stem cells, his blood type changes to my blood type.
Really?
Uh-huh.
For life?
Yeah, for life. Because my stem cells are essentially taking over and they're going to start producing and it turns into my blood type.
Wow. Do you know
Uh-huh.
what is your blood type?
I don't know what my blood type is, huh?
Oh, okay, but regardless, he now has your blood type. Did you
You know.
do you know any how it went? I mean, any follow-up?
I know that 2 days after I donated is when he received them, so it's pretty fast. Is when he got them. I'm not sure, but I am coordinating right now with Be the Match I can write anonymous letters to him for a year, and then at the 1 year mark of the donation, I can meet him if he wants to do so.
And you want to meet him?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say, was this a person in Idaho? Do you know?
I don't know. It
Okay.
wasn't anybody I knew. No.
It wasn't anybody you
Nope.
knew or know, as far as you know.
No.
But
Yeah.
but you did this really for a stranger.
Yeah. Yeah. I had no idea who he was.
So do you think there's a chance they might need your blood again?
Yeah, they said it's possible that if it doesn't work the first time, and they might need me to go give another donation. So far, I haven't heard anything, but they said it's possible. Yeah.
Do you know the odds of this happening? Like you said, your sister's done this and she's never really been a match for anybody. And in this massive database of donors that they have, did they give you the odds like, man, this is so rare, we're so glad you did this? Or do you know any stats like that?
Yeah. So it's 1 in every 430 people that sign up will ever donate.
Wow.
So, and then they were telling me that just the likelihood of matching with the person I matched with was like 1 in a million, pretty much.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
So how did you feel after it was all done?
I felt really good. It was like, I don't know, I was kind of downplaying it to myself. I was like, oh, that was easy. And then I was talking to my family and they're like, okay, well, what if it was one of us that needed it and someone just saved our life? So it was a pretty good feeling after the fact.
Have you ever thought, what if you hadn't have signed up for Be the Match? Like they wouldn't have had your information in there and this person wouldn't have received it.
Yeah, it's something that I thought about, especially the whole time on the trip to go donate. It was just like, what if like my sister sent it to me and I just disregarded it and I was like, oh, whatever, like it doesn't matter. I don't know. It's just crazy to think about that split second decision that I was like, okay, I can take the 10 minutes to sign up real quick, completely change somebody else's life and my life for that fact.
Dillon, were you an organ donor before this?
Yeah, I'm signed up to be an organ donor.
I know. Yeah, you obviously haven't donated organs, but you're
Yeah.
registered as a donor. How have you ever donated blood before this?
No, I haven't.
So this was your first, or blood plasma or anything like that?
Nothing. Nope.
This was your first donation and saved a dude, most likely.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Wow. So you mentioned earlier that you talked about how simple it is and you would encourage other people to do that. What's your message to those of us that have never heard of Be the Match or those of us that have thought about it but haven't done anything?
Go sign up for sure. How I thought about it, it was scary when it got the call that they were like, yeah, you have to go through all these like this blood work because I don't do very good with needles at all. But they were like, you got to go through all this blood work, get all these shots, and so it was kind of scary. But as I thought about that, what if it was someone in my family that needed a stem cell transplant and someone was signed up and got the call? I'd hope that they would choose to donate and essentially save someone that I love's life.
Dillon, tell us a little bit about your upbringing here in Eastern Idaho. Were you born and raised in Sugar City?
Yeah, so I was born at Madison Memorial, and I've lived in Sugar City my whole life.
And you played football in high school?
Yep, I played football. I was a cheerleader and I did track.
Yeah, so you were busy.
Yeah.
And what'd you do after high school?
I'm up in Dillon, Montana, playing football at the University of Montana Western.
And did you think, and has it affected your ability to play? donating your stem cells?
No, the week before, the shots that they give you make you a little sore, so I wasn't lifting. And the week after, they said you can't lift more than like 5 pounds, but it hasn't affected me whatsoever. And my coaches have been really supportive about all of it because at first I was gonna have to donate during season, so I'd have to miss a couple practices, and they were all for it. So this is the cheek swab kit that they send you. So that's all it is, just those 2 cheek swabs. Swab each cheek, send them in, and then you're done. One thing they told me to stress is that people of color need to sign up more.
Yeah.
Because if you're white, you have 77% chance of getting a match, and if you're African American, you only have a 23% chance of finding a match.
Wow.
And then all the other, like American Indian or Alaskan Native, 57, Hispanics, 46, and Asians, 41.
Wow. So that stresses the importance right there of doing it, especially if you're a minority.
Exactly, yeah. And they said and it's not it's just because the numbers in the registry just aren't as high.
I see.
So, because you have to be the same ethnicity to donate.
You do. Okay. So your stem cells went to a Caucasian male.
Yep, they did.
And you have to be the same gender?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. And so you're hoping to meet the guy here sometime in the next year or at the year mark. And is there anything you want to ask him? Anything you want to say, or do you just want to shake his hand and say, glad you're here?
I just want to meet him. I think it'll be really cool to see that, possibly he just got another year of life because I signed up, and it'll be really cool. I'm really excited for it.
That's great. Well, it's a huge public awareness that you're doing. So kudos to you for getting the word out there. And as you mentioned, a lot of people are freaked out by needles. But if you think about the fact that you're saving somebody and the pain only was minimal and only lasted a few days, and I'm sure it was well worth it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Dillon, you graduate next year, 2022?
2022 or either spring or fall of 2022.
And then what's next for you?
I'm going to come home and work as an electrician until I can get my journeyman's electrician's license. And then hopefully one day start my own electric company.
That's great. In Eastern Idaho?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, good. Well, good. It'll be good to have you here. So we'll put in a plug now for your future business, all you electricians. And anyone who might need stem cells, he might be your guy.
Exactly.
Dillon, is there anything that you want to add?
Just go sign up. It's really simple. And it can be a huge difference. It can be an entire world to somebody. A whole family can get another couple years with somebody they love because of 8 hours out of one day. So just go sign up.
That's great. Thank you very much, Dillon, for chatting with me.